Well, hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing very, very good. Actually, my first time here in Paris playing, so
Really?
it feels like almost like magical because it's my third time in Paris as like first two was where as a tourist, so it's like kind of like a full circle moment because it's
Yeah.
probably my favorite city in the world, and it's been good so far, and I love the city, so I'm very happy to be here.
I mean, obviously, if you like the city, you're gonna want to play in it, but that's great for you tonight.
Yeah, the thing is that I actually realized how cool the Paris scene was last year when I was with my girlfriend just like on vacation here, and I went to the Semi-Virgin Oppidum show like hosted by Halfpipe.
Yeah.
It was in Paris in July. I was seeing people like going crazy for garage and just like bass music in general, and I was like, okay, this is a cool place to play. So yeah, definitely.
So, talking about one shot and half pipe, we're here tonight at the Machine du Moulin Rouge for the event. What do you expect from it?
The thing is that I know both realities. I know One Shot because they're Milan based, and I know Halfpipe because we met last year in Lyon where I was playing a show, and then I met them again, as I said before, in Paris last July. And I think that the cool thing about these two realities is that they are both doing different things, but they are like within the same field in a way, which means doing things creatively,
Yeah.
doing things in a different way, because Halfpipe has like the iconic, ramp on stage, and at the same level, One Shot as this huge visual representation with the VJ on stage and the front-to-front setup. So to me, it's like, again, another kind of full circle moment because I said before, I know both realities and I know they are both doing great things. So playing here is definitely, more than good because it's like, it feels, again, as I said it like for the third time, but like a full circle moment, yeah.
Yeah. And once again, like you have the Italian point of view and also the French one.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see both.
Yeah, because they're doing like this sort of like A-B match.
Yeah.
So first time in Paris, second time in Milan. So it's cool, to blend those things together, in a very natural way.
Yeah.
And that's very good to me as well. Even as like not as an artist, even just like a ticket buyer or just like someone who's just like attend the show.
Yeah.
It's cool to see this type of, connection between these two communities.
Sure. And I feel like that's not the kind of event that happens a lot, like especially like through different countries.
Yeah.
Like it can be like in the same one, like two collectives that just like go together and do something, but I feel like this special concept of just bringing like Italian people to France and French people to Italy is really great.
And also, it's not about just, bringing, to me, it's not just like about bringing people from one country to the other. It's also like bringing our like view, our concept, our ideas, and then exchange that, which is like beautiful to me.
Yeah.
So super stoked for tonight, yeah.
Could you maybe introduce yourself, like tell us what you do, what do you mix?
I am an Italian-based producer. I live in a small city near Venice, but as we're speaking, I'm moving to Milan, so I'll probably be there in like a couple of months, like officially. And I've been making music my whole life. I had like different stages in my journey. I went through different also like phases in production, but as of now, I think I kind of, fulfill myself in a way that I see that what I'm making is something that I would enjoy listening, and I also have fun playing, have fun listening. It's something that is like very fulfilling and also very natural to me.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm making something for the others. But yeah, speaking of myself, I also like did study before because I graduated at University of Venice in languages, foreign languages, and then in international relations. But I've been making music for 12 years, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So quite a lot. And yeah, I'm happy that I'm doing music full time right now. I'm doing different things, also like doing sample packs, having a Patreon, doing one-on-one session with other artists, and also making music.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, as you said, you kind of went through different phases through producing music and everything. And when we listen to your tracks, we can see that you're really eclectic with the music that you produce. Like you go, for example, through more bass sounds, like your remix of 100% of Interplanetary Criminal and Main Phase, but also more two-step tracks, like your remix of My Hum. So I was asking myself, what do you like the most? Is it just exploring different genres, or just like sticking to one thing, or like what do you like the most?
To me, it's like kind of having a general vibe that I think that I'm kind of like exploring and showing through my songs, which is like more ominous, very dark in a way type of music.
Yeah.
But like also being able to navigate through different genres and different sides of this realm, which is like bass music. So being able to make two-step songs and also more heavy, I would say, or just like more just like bass-oriented ones is just like kind of fulfilling to me, because I know what I'm doing and I'm not doing things for just like the sake of it, but it's actually natural, and it's like the first time for me, because I used to kind of like think about what I wanted to make. So sitting in front of my computer and being like, okay, what do I have to make? What do I want to make? And to some extent, it didn't feel natural at all.
Yeah.
It felt like I was doing like a sort of external job, just like working for someone else, which is like bad to say, because music is creative.
Obviously.
And when I realized that I kind of knew what I wanted to make, and I also kind of had my style, because like it's funny, because a lot of artists are just like asking themselves, okay, so how do I find my sound?
Yeah.
And to me, and that I'm saying this because I experienced this on myself. Finding your own sound is not just like looking through things or just like exploring things. It's just like actually making music, and then after a while realizing that there's a pattern.
Yeah.
A pattern in what you make, a pattern in like how you produce, a pattern in like the sounds you choose, the sound palette, the samples you choose.
Yeah.
So like finding your own sound is actually way more natural than it is to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that I'm happy with the music I'm making right now because it's natural to me.
Yeah. But actually, like, what's your creative process when you make music? Like, what do you go through, and what are your inspirations? Like, it can be anything.
To me, as of now, again, as I said before, I went through different phases in production, where at some point I did start with drums, at some point I did start with like the intro, at some point I did start with just like sound design. As of now, it's more like listening to what I'm feeling that day. So let me explain like a bit better. So if I'm feeling that I want to make something heavier, I start of course by the heavier parts of the songs.
Yeah.
It could be, the bass sound, or just like the drums and then the bass sounds and the sound design. If I want to make something more, kind of like emotional or just like more introspective, I maybe start with some chords, some intro, something that leads to something. So to me, it's important to like kind of follow what my mind is telling, meaning that I don't want to just like, if I'm feeling like, I don't know, if I'm not feeling super good, I don't want to make something like, happy or feel good, because that would be just like counterproductive and also kind of like hypocritical, because why would I make something like happy if I'm not feeling that
Obviously.
good? On the contrary, if I'm feeling happy, I maybe start with some chords, something fun, more chill. So yeah, I literally trying to listen to how I'm feeling that moment and then start from there. Of course, like the next day I might kind of throw the project in the bin, or if I'm feeling differently, the project can take a different take a different road, different path. So it's just like I want to trust how I'm feeling, because if I'm starting to make things because I have to, or because I need to make a banger or an emotional song, that's just like pointless to me. It's just like kind of killing the creative in music, which is like weird to say.
But I feel like we can really hear it when we listen to your tracks, because like there was one specific track that was like really, really dark when I was listening to it, which is a good thing because I like it. I mean, I like every type of music, but like from one track to another, you going through like literally different phases that have like nothing in common.
Yeah.
And that's also why it's working, like once again, because yeah, like you listen to yourself, and that's the most important thing to do, I feel, like even in music.
Yeah, because also like it's not like following a trend.
Yeah.
You're just like following yourself. So just like in a more platonic way, it's just like as if you are the trend, and
Yeah.
you're just like following how you're feeling, or just like, which is cool, right? Because it's just like creative, and I don't want to stop or prevent myself from being creative because I have to make something this way, or I have to make a, I don't know, like just like a playlist friendly banger or playlist friendly song. There's just like, you know, being myself.
So talking about music and your music, could you maybe show us a 15-second track that no one has ever heard before?
Okay, yeah, there's this song that is coming out pretty soon on a very good label that I always, respected. And it's a collab that I have with a very good and iconic MC who goes by Killa P. And yeah, it's called Transit, and it's coming out very, very soon.
There's never gonna be another body that's ready to body your body. I left him on a track. Can't this killer man, I tell man Jack. Man of the wickedest from way back. Who know about this? Who know about that? Could I skinny or fat? Could I biggie or pack? Rise up, make gun, make it clap. Can't offer them can't clap back. Clap, 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 clap.
Is there a specific artist that's been like blowing your mind lately?
To me, it's not about just like one artist, but it's more like one of the producer that from a, everything point of view, meaning sound design, just like sound selection, drums, groove, vibe, whatever, who's always been like just like top level for me, and he's Becky. So talented, very good producer, and also I met him last month. Also very good person, so it adds to that. So yeah, I'd say Becky.
Great. We said that once again we're at the Machine for the Halfpipe and One Shot events. Could you maybe tell us about the Italian scene, like the Italian electronic scene? Like, what's your point of view on it? Like, do you still like grow? And especially with everything that One Shot did in Italy, like, what's your point of view on it?
I think that Italian scene is growing at a different pace than the French scene.
Yeah.
Of course, like every scene is doing their own like journey, their own path, so it's not a competition. But I think it's growing, and also like I've been kind of lucky to have a side project which will be launched soon, which is called Euroclub, and it's like a collective of me and other very good artists from Italy. Like I want to mention Camouflage, Greg Willen, and other artists in there who are very good producers and also very, good friends of mine.
Yeah.
And we're doing a side project just to, kind of highlight not only the Italian scene, but also to, kind of represent what is the Italian sound and what the Italian sound has been through the years. So it's like, it's something that, of course, it takes time, but we want to represent our country, and also represent the history of our country through our music.
Sure. And I mean, especially Italy is like very rich country, like in culture and everything, and it's really interesting to have like a different point of view on the music, because obviously like from a country to another the inspirations are going to be different, so it's going to like sound different even if it's the same genre.
Yeah.
So it's, well, can't wait to see that.
I think that it's cool because, for the type of music that we are making, like inevitably we are showing a trait of our culture.
Yeah.
No matter if you are making something that it's not like maybe born in Italy, for example, I'm making UK garage, which is, as you might say, it's definitely not born in Italy. But like sometimes I find myself, in the type of like melodies that I'm creating, the type of like emotion that I'm trying to, to put in the song, I find myself kind of, going back to the old music that I
Yeah.
was listening to back when I was 11 or 12. So it's kind of, you know, something that it takes turns. It's like its own path, but at some point it always goes back to start.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, it's sure that like when you're a child, you always like listen to some specific songs,
Yeah.
and then 15 years later, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I have an idea. There was
and
this
the
song.
emotion when you hear
Yeah.
that song back,
Yeah.
and when you realize that maybe you created a melody or you wrote a melody that somehow is like similar to, like the vibe is similar to a old song that you were listening to back in 2010 or something like
Yeah.
that, and you didn't realize at first, and maybe you just like go back to that song like randomly and be like, okay, I see the reference myself.
Yeah.
But it was like not voluntarily.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just like
yeah.
random, and it's cool because it's just like part of ourselves as as
Sure.
artists.
And like even sometimes people tend to, I mean, even like my Hump remix, it's a pretty old song now. Like I feel like that's also what make people go crazy sometimes in the club. Like
Yeah.
when you hear like a really old song, I mean, not that old, but like 10 to 20 years.
Yeah.
Like prior, like you haven't heard it in a few years, and then you hear it in a club, it's remixed. I feel like it's such a nice feeling, and
It's that throwback feeling.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
Yeah.
Random that happens that goes like, it's kind of like, you know, it flashes the memories. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
in a second, and
Yeah.
it's cool, you know.
what's the specific song that you play when you want to make people go crazy in the club?
So there's this remix that Hamdi sent me a couple of weeks ago. It's still unreleased. It's a remix that he made of the song Damager by Interplanetary Criminal and Sammy Virgi. And it's just like, you know, it goes straight to the point. It goes there. It's just like, it eats so hard. And that's probably my pick, yeah.
Are we going to hear it tonight?
Absolutely, yeah.
Can't wait to see. Could you maybe tell us about your like upcoming news, like in a few months?
I have a song, self-release song that is coming out very shortly, like in a couple of weeks. And then I have an EP with a very respected label, as I mentioned before. And I'm very much looking forward to that. And also I have like another single with my friend Camouflage coming out in August. And then there will be more things in the future, and you know, so stoked to reveal them.
Lots of gigs, lots
Yeah.
of music coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I have a bunch of shows lined up for these upcoming weeks and months, both national and international. So I'm very much looking forward to them.
Well, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I can't wait to hear your set. And that was it for today. Thank you so much.
Bye.